reflect on 2022 and what God has done in our lives, and also what we're looking forward to seeing in 2023 with our family and friends, and more importantly, what we hope God will reveal to us or encourage us in, even though it's His plan and it will change. So we can start with Mom or Tammy. And what has God done for you in 2022? What do you see in 2023?
There's a lot of things in 2022 that God has done. And, I think when I look back, there's just so many doors that He's opened up, and learning the different stages of life that I've had to move into. You know, as a mom, you go through stages of your kids and you see that. But now, as an adult, you see the stages of your adult kids, and then you see the stages of your parents, and how God is still there in the different stages. And it's always learning, and it's always trusting Him for that next stage. It never stops. So, and what I'm looking forward to in 23 is becoming wiser and learning how to handle those different stages. You know, as my parents get older and stuff, coming alongside them now and supporting them, and then the adult kids seeing how God is working in their life is real exciting. They have the hardships, and as a parent, I think you spend more time in prayer. So 2023 is probably going to be spending a lot of time in prayer over our adult kids. What about you, Jody?
Well, I would say that 2022 had a lot of changes for us. Bought and sold a house. We've got Quade graduating, moving up on graduation. Taylor Sloan Kearney. We've got the kids at one end, like you, but then we've got parents at the other end. And I would say there's been a lot of gratitude for 22, and up until the end here, there's been a lot of rest, a lot of time to consider what we want to do next, and that's good, because in 23 what I see is all of those things that we've been able to slow down and ponder in 22 changing.
Yeah, in 23 you got a big thing coming up, don't you?
We've got lots of big things coming up. We've got empty nesting and Doug retiring, and I'm taking a break, and we've got to start putting the house together that we demoed. We'll get some time to spend with our parents, and we're grateful for that, and some time with each other, which will be new, because we haven't really had much of that before. So, like you, I think I'll piggyback off that. A lot of things to pray about, and our life will be completely different in 7 months from now.
So 2023 is going to be changes for you.
Lots of changes.
Hey, Marlene, what do you see reflecting back and looking forward?
You know, 2022 kind of found me kind of doing the same as I've always been doing. I did enjoy getting to know more people personally in the church as volunteer coordinator, so I really appreciate that, just that tweaking of their lives to serve in the church. And as you do that, you really get personal relationships, which I really enjoyed in 2022. And I'm a little bit like Jody with changes for 2023, because I too will have a husband retiring, and what that looks like for us. But the main thing about all these changes is that I hope that Berlene isn't going to concentrate on the changes, but she concentrates on a God who never changes. So I really hope that's my desire as far as changes are in my lives. And in 2023, I really look for building more relationships with people that I don't know in the church, and welcoming new people to serve alongside all of us. So I really look forward to that and getting to know everybody more personally. So
That's really good.
where I'm at.
Hey, Kim, what do you look back on? What do you look forward to?
You know, just kind of a lot of what you both said, or all three of you. I think just getting to know the people in the church and having more of an intentional, personal relationship with everybody, and help them to feel welcome. I think I've learned a lot through this past year, as far as maybe my abilities and everybody else's abilities, and how we use them and to the best of our abilities. We added number 8 grandchild today, and know, I think that's what I look forward to in 2023. It's just being able to enjoy my family, my grandkids. And Kurt took a new job this year, and after 21 years with the place, it's kind of scary, but it's been really good so far, very positive, and so looking forward to what God has in plan for us.
So Barb, what are you looking back on and then looking forward?
Well, I guess that I trusted in God in a lot of things this past year with going through COVID and blood clots and all those things, and I guess never once being afraid because I knew I was in God's hands. I enjoyed the past year of making coffee and serving with others and greeting at the doors and meeting new people as they come in and getting to know people in the church that have been there, but I had never had an opportunity to really get to know them. So that was exciting. I guess I am real grateful that I can continue to do all those things in 23 too. And I enjoyed Bethel staff, all you we work with together as a team. It's been more than rewarding, and I've been blessed for everybody that stood behind me and my ups and downs and all the empty spots I had to leave once in a while and all those things. So I'm hoping that I can continue to do all those things in 23. We had a great grandchild this year, so I'm a great grandma now.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
I think you were a great grandma before. But...
No,
it's
She's
just
greater.
So it's a new stage for you.
a new stage for me, yeah. And I enjoy my children a lot, and my grandchildren a whole lot. And I guess I will continue to pray for them because I always worry each day about their lives with God and pray for their closeness with God and stuff. And some of the times I think I shortcome them with how they really feel about their Savior, and so I need to step back and quit being so judgmental about my own family. And I think that's it. I hope I can continue to work with all of you and enjoy it.
Hey Jim, looking back and looking forward, you had quite a back 22.
22 was an amazingly incredible year. I started the year off as a youth pastor, sort of, for as much as we were doing that. Then the sabbatical during the summer, through which, I got to travel to Washington, D.C., got to travel to Europe, a lot of great things there. But in the midst of it all, the thing that I really think God showed me most is just His closeness to us. I mean, we celebrating Christmas this time of year, and last week we just talked about how God came to be with us. But the reality that even though God was the creator of the universe and has all right to rule heaven and earth, when Jesus Christ came here as a baby, He actually defeated the powers and principalities of this world and became king here. And that king, Jesus, is present with our lives every single day. And I've known this, I've always said it, but I haven't really realized what that means because it ties into what I'm looking forward to. We talk about how Bethel needs to be a church, that if we were removed from North Platte would miss us. I look forward to 2023 for people in North Platte recognizing that Bethel is changing, that North Platte's different because Bethel's here, because the people of Bethel are learning to live under the kingdom rule and reign of Jesus. And I think that's so important because as I've traveled around the world and talked to Christians from England and from Europe and from Africa and the Pacific Islands, and the Caribbean, and everybody's dealing with the same stuff. Everybody's dealing with the same community, the same sin, and they're leaning into and calling on the same And we might think that, oh, if we change Northglass, it's not really changing the world. But it is. Because the world starts right here. And so I'm excited for 2023, honestly, because I'm excited to see how God is going to use our faith family to really impact everybody around us. And Kellyanne and her involvement with LICO is really, for me, even though I'm not involved with LICO, that's one of the biggest things that we've seen in 2023 that goes outside the four walls of our church. And so I'm excited about that. I'll pass it on to you.
Well, look at
So
that.
up to you.
Yes.
Set you up and let you go.
Forward.
Kind of looking back at it in 2022, most of you guys know stuff that happened with my uncle with COVID, and that happened back around Thanksgiving in 2021. And at the end of it, when he came out of it and stuff, the nurses and doctors told us he only had a 10% chance of living. And for all of us, especially for my aunt and her two girls, it was very scary and unknown. But through that, and seeing the strength that my cousins had and my aunt had, they were just like, this is God's story. However the outcome comes about, whether God calls him home or he says, no, you're not done on this earth yet, it's God's story. And for us, it was a blessing to have him still be here on this earth, because it's not his. God used him to tell God's story. And just seeing that explode into relationships with his work, with his family, with friends, with his faith family at his church, and how that all grew and blossomed from such a scary and unknown situation, it kind of brought it to 2022 for me of just like appreciating the relationships that I have, even in the unknown, and stepping out in faith and just letting go and letting God have that control, because ultimately he has control of everything, no matter how much we try and take from that. And I'm really looking forward to 2023 of how that has grown me this past year, and how it's going to continue to grow me into 2023 with being a leadership in LICO, with our mission trips to Guatemala and Belgium for our college ministry, and with my production. I call them family because it's a family. It's a team, but it's a family. And a family of staff and just anyone else who walks through our doors. And just realizing it's not my story, it's God's story, and he's using me to say it.
That's awesome.
And you said it well.
So as we have looked back on 22, looking forward to 23, we see that there's been changes in our families, and there's challenges. But in the midst of us, we all can testify that God is unchanging, and that he's the one that will lead us into 2023. So as we wrap up our time as a staff, we would ask our faith family at Bethel to look back and try to remember where God has walked you through things, the changes, and giving him thanks for the blessings, and then asking him to guide you in the coming year of 2023 to see and look for him of how he's going to use us, the unchanging God in a changing situation. From all of us to all of you, we want to say, Happy New Year!